Hello and welcome to this free mandolin lesson aimed mainly at advanced players because we're going to try and learn that little chord melody arrangement of Irving Berlin's great Blue Skies, which of course has been made famous by Ella Fitzgerald and Willie Nelson over the years. We're going to build it up, so we're going to start with the melody, add some chords and then add the chord melody arrangement. All the tabs are available in a free PDF which is linked in the video description below, so you don't have to try and learn all of this by ear. My aim for this lesson is to not only show you the eventual chord melody arrangement, but also to show you the steps how I got there, so that should you find a similar tune that you like, you can have a go at writing your own, because they're not too tricky once you get the idea behind them. So first of all, we need to know the melody and the chords. So I have included just the very core melody. For an advanced player, it's quite simple. So I'm just going to hit play and we'll play through it, see if you can play the melody. Melody is the focus. I'll double screen and add the chords as well so you can hear the harmony with it. But the melody is your focus. Once you know the melody, then we can start adding stuff to it. So here we go. 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you have that melody under your fingers, we can now add the chords underneath the melody. So we're going to try as much as possible to not change the rhythm. So we're going to keep the melody the same and we're literally just going to put chord notes underneath where we can. So if you take the opening phrase, the chords have like a bass line of A over G sharp, A over G, and then A over F sharp. So straight away, we can't get that full bass line in, but surely we can reference it somewhere, because if we can't get it there, maybe we can get like a little A to F sharp line going as that melody happens, and it turns out you can. So if you start with a ring finger on the 7th fret, so you've got that going on whilst the melody, and I've only added one extra note there just in that third measure just so the melody rings true. So if we just try that again, 3, 4, sounding pretty nice. And then the next phrase is not too bad because it's just one note per chord. So C, little A7 double stop, little D minor 7 double stop, G, finishing on a C. So that's quite low-hanging fruit from my point of view. When you see a phrase like that that's just one note per chord, there's always a way of getting some chords. Even if it's just a double stop, you can still get a feeling of the harmony. You know, you still get that D minor 7, well, C, A7, D minor 7, G7, C. And then, when you're playing the normal melody, there's a little turnaround on the chords that doesn't happen in the melody, so we can bring those in. So we get a little B diminished 7 to an E7. Just to get us ready back for the... So that's not too bad, that A part. The B part is it sort of speeds up quite a bit. So there's some little finger twists coming on here. So first of all, note 1 is a C chord, quite easy. Start with a nice C strum. And then F minor 6. I sort of played around with a few different voicings around the neck. And that's something you always have to do when you're writing out these. Just you have to try stuff out. Sometimes it doesn't work. So I settled on this, 3, 5, 4. That gives us an F, a D, and an A flat. So you've got the F as the root, you've got the 6 of the D, and you've got the minor third in the melody. So our opening phrase of the B part finish with adding a C chord. And then it goes to an F minor without the 6. This time we can actually just play the F minor down here because your melody note is up there. Because that resolves neatly to that C, and then a G7. So it does get a little easier as the section goes on. So the first line of that B part, shift down again. Second line is very similar. F minor 7, F minor 6. Then this time it's a B diminished to an E7 augmented, which is quite, actually sounds a complicated chord, but for us on the mandolin, that's just 1, 2, 3. Not too bad. So let's just have a little play through that. This time I won't put the chords on because we're starting to accompany ourselves. 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4. And again. B, shift again, so now we've established our melody with some chords underneath but the same rhythm, so now we can start to mess around with the rhythm. So when you start doing this, you have to see each measure as 8 potential notes, because there's 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So for example, the melody in the first bar, first measure, is only 2 notes. So there's only 6 out of the 8 potential notes used. So that's where our gaps are that we can start filling. And what's nice about this melody is we can almost do it in like a little cross pick manner. That kind of. We've got that could happen. So I settled on, and again, there was a lot of trying out different things, deleting things, at one point I was losing the melody, so I settled on this. So we've still got the melody, we've got that harmony line of, and now I'm starting to fill in the gaps with open notes because that all is part of the chord. So I'll try that again. 2, 3, 4. This is really nice. I like that because it's kind of a nice little cross pick melody, as well as a jazz self accompaniment melody. There's got a few things going on there. And then we hit the second part of the A part. Nice little C chord. And then, just like in the first phrase, I've kept the same harmony, but filled it out. So the A7 is now, the D minor 7 is now, and then a little on the G, and then a little strum on the C, and then a little rhythm on those 2 chords. So it's not a great leap from what we were doing earlier. I'm just being almost a bit busier in the right hand than anything else. The B part is not necessarily much more difficult because it was already pretty difficult. So the only thing I've done, kind of just changed a little bit of emphasis where some of the strums are. And then this second line, little quarter note triplets, and then to finish, so with the intention, if you're playing this on your own, it kind of sounds like a train coming to a stop at a station if you play that. and then you'd go back to the top. So that little end of the B part, it's still the melody, which is what's nice about melodies. You can push and pull melodies, the timing of them, but still maintain that melody. People will still recognize it. And at certain points, as with the other parts of this arrangement, I went too far. I took too much of the melody away, played it, didn't like it, deleted it, put the melody back in and tried again. And that's how I settled on this. So there's always a lot of trial and error when you're writing stuff like this. You never get it straight away. So just to finish this lesson, let's try this tune. And the arrangement we're going to do is going to do A, A, B, A. I'm not going to have a metronome on because what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow down at the end of that B part. So it's like a RAL, they call it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ready for the B part? Here we go. Shift. Here we go. And then we'll do one more A part. 2, 3, 4. So there you have a chord melody arrangement for the beautiful blue skies. I hope you've enjoyed playing it, and I hope you can see the steps that get you from a melody with a chord chart to that end point. There's no right way of doing it. I've shown you how my brain works. Try it on any other sort of jazz standard. They all have little elements where they do work, some don't, but that's the fun bit to try out. We do these lessons every month, so please hit like and subscribe if you've enjoyed the last 15 minutes or so. Head over to mandomike.com for all the other free lessons we've ever done. And we'll see you next month.